Look, if you think Roblox is just a place for kids in virtual daycare, you're missing the biggest, most chaotic economic shift in modern gaming. We're talking about $1 billion developer ecosystem where the rules are rewritten every 3 months. I just sat down with the CEO of GameFam, the first professional Roblox studios, and the top analysts at NewZoo, and what they revealed is the traditional rules of businesses, production value, marketing budgets, and even influencer hype don't work in this ecosystem. They confirm that the entire platform is an algorithmic war zone. A game built in 2 days can generate more profit than a year-long AAA title, and if you're an old-school developer, you're massively disadvantaged here. We're diving into the data, why Gen Z is aging up on the platform, why the biggest studios are failing to compete, and the secret metric you need to track and dominate the wildest, most unpredictable market in the world. Stick around. This isn't just gaming, it's a lesson in disruption. Today, I'm excited to be able to dive into Roblox and look at a report that NewZoo released a few weeks ago called Roblox as a Strategic Growth Platform. We have two people who helped contribute to this report. Tiani Gu, who's the marketing manager and analyst at NewZoo, and Joe Ferencz. He's the CEO of GameFam, who helped work on this report. Tiani, would you like to say hi and introduce
Yeah, of course. And thank you, Greg, for having me on this podcast. I'm from NewZoo and from the market intelligence team. So I work on a lot of the market analysis for the gaming industry. And of course, as a market analyst for the gaming industry, one of the biggest trends, if not the biggest, these days is definitely Roblox. So I had a great opportunity to work with GameFam and Joe's team on a analysis piece about the Roblox platform for the 2025 NewZoo's global market games market
Okay.
report. And
Great. So I've been working in the pop culture space for my entire career, so over 20 years, and in gaming since 2009. And I have worked across many different parts of the gaming business, including stints at Nintendo, Ubisoft, and Mattel in gaming product leadership roles and strategy roles. And I started GameFam going on, it'll be 7 years in January. We were the first ever professional Roblox studio. We built the company by both making games and acquiring games. And so, some of our biggest franchises right now are War Tycoon, the number one military game on Roblox, and Sonic Speed Simulator, the number one all time IP game on Roblox, and Super League Soccer, which is a huge soccer game. I'm sure we'll talk more about those during the course of the day or the session here. And we currently run a huge network of games across the Roblox platform, as well as Roblox's largest third party ad network. Oh, and I should add, we own RoMonitor, which is the data service that provides a huge amount of data to the Roblox community. I was the consulting executive producer for Hot Wheels video games from 2015 to 2020. It was a 2 day a week, give or take, gig, and it was incredibly fun and worked with great people on a great brand. And we were putting Hot Wheels into so many different gaming franchises, the highlights of which probably were our own mobile game with over 100 million downloads, as well as the two standalone Forza Horizon expansion packs that we worked on, and Hot Wheels' own console franchise, Hot Wheels Unleashed, and among many other great projects. And it was during those years where I was getting these different trend reports on my desk, and one of them was mentioning Roblox consistently. This was back in 2016, so I believe that's like 9 years ago, which is crazy. And I looked it up and I said, "What the heck is this?" Roblox at that time, back in 2016, I believe had about 30 million MAU. Right now, it's got 150 million DAU. And I just thought it was a fascinating platform. And in 2018, I could see it really starting to hockey stick up in terms of both users and revenue using, some different data services. And I said, I think this is going to be the next big thing. And so I started bootstrapping some games. And I said, I think this could be a real business that could make a real impact on the gaming industry and provide obviously great games to players and long-term careers to great people. And so I started GameFam.
So yeah, this
And
24% that Greg just mentioned is actually comes from NewZoo's global gamer study. So we surveyed people from 10 to 50, 65 years old across 36 markets. And then among these respondents, we identify Roblox players. So just a little bit clarification here. Our survey data doesn't cover players under 10. So the data might be a little bit different when you look at Roblox own data. But still, I think the message we want to bring out here is that, although most Roblox players, they access the Roblox platform or content on Roblox through a mobile, for Roblox players, they actually also engage with other gaming content through PC and console. I'm interested in like listening to Joe's perspective as well, because my hypothesis is that players play your Roblox games, but they behave differently across these three platforms. On mobile, I think it's still like short sessions. They jump in the game, they do something small, and then they jump out of the game. And then on PC, it's probably more like a social play, because it's a better platform for chatting, engagement, and also like identity play. While on console, yeah, Roblox released recently on PlayStation, and also in the reports we pointed out that it already captured about 3% of the total playtime on PlayStation. So that's quite a big proportion. And I think on console, my hypothesis is that players see it more as like a digital couch hangout, something like that. They play together with their friends, or perhaps it's also like multitasking, right? These days, kids they can do multiple things at the same time, and maybe they play like Roblox on console while watching YouTube videos on their desktop or mobile devices. And we often see that the 13 plus group is growing faster, but I think it's it's yeah, people talk about it. It's self-reporting, so the data could be biased. But from my own experience, it's also like watching people or young players around me. I do see actually, these players tend to stay with the platform even after they become a teenager. So I do see a lot of kids beyond 13 still engaging with the platform. And I think it's more like the social stickiness of Roblox that the platform offers. It's like because they grew up with friends, um, whether online or like offline friends, but it's like a hangout place for these people. And then even when they grow, beyond 13, become teenager, this pattern or this habit still stays. So I think that's why it explains why the players on the platform are aging. And I also think, for it's just like becoming a much bigger platform these days. And then we see more and more either professional studios or individual developers coming to the platform. They also create, great content that also, boost the stickiness of players on the
of
platform.
Roblox, you asked
So
how important I think is the algorithm before, or where are players finding games, I think is what you asked. And my belief, based on all of the data I have available, as well as seeing the data on a number of the top 5 games that have come up over the last year on Roblox as they were coming up, is that algorithm is not only king, but it's king, queen, jack, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, ace. Algorithm is currently everything on Roblox. In fact, they're A/B testing lately the continue playing bar. So even if someone played your game yesterday, they may not even see that game in the continue playing bar in its sequential order in which you played it. So developers are having less and less control at this time over the impressions for their page, and search accounts for a very small part of any Roblox game. And so what we're doing at GameFam is not only continuing to live operate our existing games and grow those games by knowing how the algorithm has changed and targeting the right metrics. For example, we have tripled the users in Super League Soccer over the last 3 months. We picked a metric to target. It was the right metric. We achieved growth on that metric, and we have been rewarded by the algorithm with a humongous amount of new users. But we're also making very quick casual games at the company. If you look at the games that are winning on the platform at scale, almost all of them were made in a 1 week or less. This is the era of trendy viral gaming, and we are participating in it. For example, we have a game called Hop that we made in a few days. It's about two frogs that are tied together at the tongue, and they have to go through a platformer together. Multiplayer, right? Social gaming. And again, we spent a few days making this game, and it's already generating tens of thousands of dollars in profits for the company just after a few days. That's a great business model that we're really excited to participate in. We're looking at those regularly, trying to understand at the end of the day, it's impressions, right? Acquisition, retention, monetization, the fundamentals of free-to-play gaming are still very true to Roblox, but they manifest in a fundamentally different way because acquisition is essentially fully dependent on the algorithm. You need, because of ARPDAU and LTVs being relatively low compared to mobile free to play, you're not going to have a game on Roblox where you're going as a developer to net a $1 ARPDAU. That's not anything. We've never seen data that even approaches that level of average revenue per daily active user. And what that means is you need a lot of users, right? You need a lot of user volume to make a game successful. The only way to get the type of volume you need to make a game commercially successful on Roblox today is through algorithmic discovery. We welcome the partnership opportunities, so feel free to hit me up, and thank you for the call out, Tianyi. But I think that in short, AAA, there's no demand for AAA content on Roblox right now at scale. That's where the platform is at today. That could change tomorrow, but today there's no demand for AAA content. AAA developers have no place on the platform today whatsoever. And if they do come to the platform, they not only have no competitive advantage in terms of gaining users or building a business, but they're massively disadvantaged versus the native developers who just don't have the, and this is hard for me as well sometimes as a producer, and I've been adjusting myself and I've been finding the right developer partners in the community to work with because I like making really polished things. I like trying to make everything better, but what's working is the same thing that works on TikTok. What works on TikTok? Open up your phone, talk into it, set it up, do a dance, ship it. At this time, it doesn't seem to have any advantage at all. The content creators have no advantage in launching games because, especially in the last 6 months, and I'll give you an example of a game called Dig that I followed. It was made by part of the same people who made the game Fish, which was a huge hit on Roblox and remains a top 20 game on the platform. Great game, and they built a really improved version of Fish in a lot of ways with a different theme to it. They brought in all these YouTubers. They built a closed community for a paid beta, and it launched absolutely massively with 80,000 concurrent users. That's a good launch on any platform. That is a world-class launch. And within a month, it was essentially had no users at all, like practically speaking, because the algorithm doesn't care about launching games. The algorithm cares about game metrics. And as an influencer who makes YouTube or TikTok content, you cannot make a game sticky. All you can do is get people to sample a game on the first few days it's out. And because the competitive set for the competitive attention economy on Roblox is arguably the most competitive in the world, if the game doesn't catch the attention of players at large, there's nothing that can make them want to keep playing the game except, are they having fun? Do they like the game? And no one can currently predict which games they're going to like. Only once you see metrics can you know. there was a time when bigger projects with more production value were seeming to trend on Roblox that all changed 180 degrees when Grow a Garden came out in April. That created a trend for the absolute lowest complexity and lowest production design inspired games on the platform. And that trend has taken Roblox to new heights that no one even believed would have been possible until they saw it. And that is where the platform is at today. Where will the platform be at in 6 months? Will the trend for AAA high fidelity gaming come back? I think there's a very good chance it might. But this is the internet. Roblox is the same slice of the internet that TikTok and YouTube and Snap and Instagram inhabit. It is a completely unpredictable market that functions at a zeitgeist that no one can predict or engineer so far in media history.
So
Well, I think Roblox is undoubtedly the best place in the world to be launching new games as micro indie teams right now. Your chance of being commercially successful and creating meaningful income making video games as a micro indie on Roblox has never been better. The opportunity for a company like ourselves to scale profitably into the tens of millions of dollars as we have done in by that same measure has never been more challenging. Luckily, we were here very early on. We built a moat, we built a competitive advantage, and we have a huge data set that we can use to continue to find opportunities. And we built the largest third-party ad network on Roblox, which is something we knew we were going to do when we started the company as veteran media professionals. So, but I think today, again, trying to become a AAA studio on Roblox, trying to build games in the way that people have been doing in mobile free to play or PC indie, it is very unlikely to achieve commercial scale or success doing that right now.
well, we have learned about the competition of Roblox today and how much success can be found there. But you have to put in the work. You got to figure out what's working, what's not working. And I think it's going to be an awesome platform just to continue watching to see what people are building and how quickly it comes out. I want to thank both Joe and Tiani for joining me today. Before we go, Joe, you want to kick it off? Anything you want to say? Shout out to people. Where can they find you?
Thank you,
Tiani, you want
Joe,
to say?
as well. And I was very happy about the partnership, and hopefully we will continue the partnership along the way.
Tiani, you want to let us know where we can find you or the report or all the above?
Yeah, well, also on LinkedIn, and then you can always find the latest reports and insights on NewZoo's website.
Cool. We'll have links to everything. We'll have links to NewZoo, to GameFam, to the report, to everything. Again, Tiani, Joe, thank you so much for joining me today. Don't actually leave because the file's got to upload. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, you too.